Thank you for enormously positive introduction. Thank you so much. Enormously complimentary introduction. Thank you so much.
Are you audible behind?
Am I audible?
Yes. Thanks.
Oh, I'm certainly visible. You know, that's the benefit you have of being short. You get extra height so easily anywhere. You ask for it and you get it. Yeah, friends, I've spent many years now in leadership and governance and administration. I joined the Indian Police Service in 1972. And since I joined the officer ranks of the Indian Police Service, it started with leadership. It starts at the supervisory level, and all that you do is you keep growing. But the choice is yours, whether you want to lead or you want to be led. That's a choice. And I think I exercised a choice of leading, and not also leading from behind, but leading from the front. I'm a mixture of experience of governance, seeing the corporate world, because I also did a stint with the Ministry of Industry on the corporate world, and then majority of my time has gone into governance. Therefore, my focus is a lot on leadership. But if the world has to turn around today with all the kind of volatilities, it needs leadership anywhere, whether you are in business or whether you are in governance. So that's my focus for my considered thoughts today. So I stand before you today with great excitement and anticipation as we unveil a significant milestone in our journey towards fostering collaboration and growth in the dynamic Southeast Asian market. It is my honor to announce the inaugural edition of the flagship event, the Asia Business Conclave Awards 2024. Right here, one of the most beautiful places, vibrant city of Singapore. So close and so inspiring. We have with us, and we thought we had, but we may have the Excellency Dr Kiran Bedi, Vice Commissioner of India. I believe he was expected. Is he here?
No, he's not coming.
He's not coming?
Yeah.
In late minute, maybe he was called by the Prime Minister. That's what they were doing. Oh, no. Called by the Honorable Foreign Minister. That's his Prime Minister. But we called on him yesterday. What a fine gentleman you have in him. From Pune, a doctor, and very knowledgeable, very bright, who's got a long way to go. If you make friends with him, you are making probably a friend with the future foreign minister of India. He's so good. Mr. Vikram Nair, what an honor to meet you. The Member of Parliament, we had a wonderful brief discussion, and I'm very envious of his position as a Member of Parliament, because his constituency is 50,000 people. 30,000. Just brilliant, 30,000 people. Look at the condition. I'm very envious, because I know what 15,000 people mean in India, 30,000 people. How easy it is to have 100% eyeball to eyeball contact. This is amazingly close leadership. Now you know the secret of Singapore, so brilliant. The leadership, the elected leadership is so close to the people connect. And that's it. People connect is so high. Whereas in India, with very high population, there's almost a people disconnect. It's a disconnect. Because how do you have millions of people with one constituency? One member of parliament? How? Not thousands, it's millions. So therefore, that is the secret. I found out the secret of Singapore's success. It's a people connect with elected representatives with smaller constituencies like this. And if India would go into 30,000 people, I think it will be nothing but an assembly, a congregation of members of the parliament sitting in the parliament. But I think by a few years from now, with the reorganization going on, with more than 500 plus, more than 550 plus parliamentarians, India would probably go into 2,000 member parliament. Can you understand if a discussion can ever happen? That's the secret. The people connect with the parliamentarians. And it was the greatest. And the second secret I found out, which is not so easy, which is not happening in India on leadership front, is they have a monthly all departments council. It's called council. Citizens. Citizens Council. Imagine Citizens Council. I couldn't even do it in small town, a small union territory in Pondicherry. Why? Because there'll be nothing but hostility and sometimes opposition, or sometimes cross-purpose talk. Here there is so much of unanimity and alignment of thinking, of progress and positivity. These are remarkable. It was an eye-opener for me, because having town halls where political all shades set down together, but with not much of much of alignment, it's impossible to even have town halls. Sometimes even town halls in the United Nations experience was also so tough. So you are very, very gifted, and this country is truly gifted and has no reason but to continue to outstand as a most progressive and prosperous region of the world. We also have His Excellency, so-called Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of the Kingdom of Cambodia. Thank you, sir. To the Republic of Singapore. And then we also have Dr. Hemant. Is he there? I don't see him. He missed it too. So let's go home to pick him up. Because we got all everything. So friends, this conclave themed enabling business growth and leadership, I've added the word, is not merely an event. It's not merely an event. I believe it is a platform. It's a platform where visionaries, industry leaders, stakeholders, all right, visionaries, raise your hands, visionaries. Visionaries. Now you have industry leaders, raise your hands. Industry leaders, raise your hands. It's not like this. Let people count. Let people count. Great. Industry leaders and stakeholders. Stakeholders mean. will come together to engage in insightful discussions, and I'm going to be sitting through the day to listen to you on a spectrum of critical topics, from bilateral trade opportunities to investment landscape, digital transformation, startup ecosystems, infrastructure development, economic policies and regulations, sustainable business practices to financial cooperation. You can't ask for more. We aim to cover, I believe, the breadth of subjects that shape the future of business in the region. Sanjay and his WBR Corp are the architects, and as the architects behind this endeavor, I've seen them struggling behind, brings with it a rich and distinguished portfolio. Their legacy is etched with landmark events, and I'm very, very impressed. Such as Asian UK Business Week and Awards in London, the Global Business Excellence Summit in London, the Indo-UAE Global Investment Summit in Dubai, and Indo-ASEAN Global Investment Week in Bangkok. But a successful event, my friends, requires more than just organization. It demands effective communication and strategic partnerships. And that's what we're here for, strategic partnerships. It is with great pleasure that I also introduce Ganesh Sowanshi. Ganesh Sowanshi, communications agency right here for you, dedicated to empowering businesses through strategic and impactful communication solutions. Focused on the Asia region, MET-AI offers a comprehensive suite of services, alliances, including public relations, digital marketing, branding, public affairs, and corporate communications. With a commitment to combining deep industry expertise with a global perspective, MET-AI ensures that our strategies are not only tailored and resonate with diverse audiences. As we embark on this journey, friends, together, let us look forward to the convergence of ideas, collaborations, and innovations that will define the business landscape in Southeast Asia through an aware and humanistic leadership. Friends, that's my part one. My part two is now on the leadership aspects coming from my own personal experiences and learnings and writings. Friends, When we are called to lead, I believe we are called to serve. And that's what I noticed in your Honourable Member of Parliament, the way he's serving, connecting with people, knowing it. It's like a finger on the pulse with 30,000. I think I would love next birth be there to do this. This is so important. So we need to serve. Now first of all, my leadership is in two parts. You are first a born person, and then you become a leader later. Now let me look at the person aspect of the leadership, and then I'll come to the aspects of leadership as I've experienced it and lived. Friends, we grow when we're born, and we grow with our beliefs. You know, I see this as an obstruction of the photograph. Can you settle down? Because because I can't see the rest. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
I wish you would transparent. Now you take photographs anywhere. And you go and become transparent if you want. So we grow up, see, you were not transparent for me, nor were you for others. So we grow up with our beliefs, value systems, ideals. We grow up. We grow up with our role models, habits, thoughts, practices, friends, relationships, cultures, likes and dislikes. That's how we grow up. Tastes, dreams, orientations, education, geography, language, vocabulary, knowledge, skills, hobbies, energy, health, looks, dress, preferences, color of the skin, gender, manners, processes, mental attitudes, sense of living and sharing, social networks. We all have a social network, all groups in the WhatsApps, sense of security or otherwise, our own biases and prejudices and more. In nutshell, we all create a unique character of leadership of our own as persons. So when we grow up, that's how we grow, each one of us, and that's where it takes me to the next portion. But we also create a purpose, and some of us don't. Now, from persons to professionals, as professionals, we go through life and we go through work with this character, which has a self-ware. It is almost a software. We create it as a self-ware. It's more of a self-ware. We go through life and work with this character, which has a self-ware of its own. Like when I joined the Indian Police Service, I joined as a woman with a self-ware of my own. After the kind of upbringing, my beliefs, my thoughts, my habits, my likes, my dislikes, my biases, my prejudices, that's how I grew up as a woman. And as exclusively opting for the Indian Police Service. Why? Because that was my growth. That was my self-ware. That's what I'm talking about, self-ware. Whereas that kind of self-ware was not existing many other girls, women of my age when I took the Indian Police Service in 1972. In fact, none existed. Prior to me, there was none in the officer ranks of the Indian Police Service. So that's what I'm talking about, how individually we grow. But I had the self-ware of this kind of growth, which opted for the Indian officer ranks of the Indian Police Service. By the way, the time when I joined the Indian Police Service, I think it was the leadership ever of a woman anywhere in the world. Anywhere in the world. Why am I saying anywhere in the world? It's not to laud myself. Because I realized that many years after I had served as a Deputy Commissioner of Police in Delhi, there was a Deputy Commissioner appointed in the US decades after. Decades after. That's how India was ahead of its time as far as this person is concerned, who was totally Indian bred. Indian school, Indian college, Indian university, Indian parents. That's it, totally, but grown up in all these aspects as I said. Therefore I said, we get soft-wired and hardwired by the time we come to lead at work. Why I've said this person is that when we're talking about leadership, and that's what is the biggest challenge in the volatility of tomorrow, we are already soft-wired and hardwired by the time we come to lead. So we are all different because we are all software hardwired differently. Situationally, we acquire, situationally now, we acquire need-based skills, situationally. We interact the way we're doing now, make new networks, which we do every day. We unlearn, we challenge the systems, we complement, go into conflict, we expand, we enlarge, we acquire, we pick up new perspectives, we make new relationships, we strengthen our beliefs, and we modify. So now, at work, we merge ourselves into 2-in-1. You are, before you become a leader, you are the person I talked about earlier. But when you come at work, we merge as 2-in-1 while delivering and performing. The person in us, the self-aware, is not visible, but gets revealed with every word and deed. But the self-aware is hidden. But as we declare, as we speak, it gets well. Now, if a political leader is very sensitive and people connected, there's something when they're going back to the roots, go back to the sensitivity of the roots, the way that person was brought up. That's why when you do the interviews, you ask which family you're coming from, which school are you coming from, what are your personal skills, what were your extracurricular activities, what was your conflict resolution, what are the challenges you faced, why are you doing this? You are going back to the roots of that person. So the person who's coming to you is already a person who was soft-wired and is now a 2-in-1. The person in us, called the self-aware, which is a software inside, is not visible, but gets revealed with every word and deed, even when it is fake. So we grow and we modify. We make choices in our leadership styles. And we witness it too. We witness our own styles. We are listening to our own selves. It all depends how mindful you are. If you're not mindful, you will not watch yourself. You will not listen to yourself. You will only listen to others and find fault. But you will not find fault with yourself because you're not listening to yourself. Like I'm already listening to myself. So we witness it too. Depends on how mindful you are. Those who practice silence or meditation, they watch themselves. Due to these different personal and professional backgrounds, we are different friends as leaders and as persons. And here lies the joy and the challenge. Some are like Titanic icebergs, very deep within. Our responses reveal the difference. The reasons are obvious, as I explained. Because we all grow with different backgrounds. To be good in leadership, we need the basic fundamentals right in and in abundance, immaterial of the country, the language, or the culture. Therefore, deeper the self-aware, the better our responses. Such as here are my key points to take away. And you said keep your points on if you wish to take them. Number 1, skill of generosity to share. Skill of generosity to share. In India, by Companies Act, we have the corporate social responsibility. We had to bring it by law because every company was not like a Tata. Tatas did it without the corporate social responsibility. But India's government had to bring corporate social responsibility because many rich companies were invisibly doing a lot of corporate social responsibility on their own. Individuals too. Individuals also have their own dharmshalas, etc., etc. But everybody's not willing. So they brought it by law. After a certain amount of earnings, a percentage of 2% of your earnings have to go to giving. So generosity to share. The skill now, whether you volunteer it or you do it by law, that's now option. But this is what is needed in tomorrow's leadership. And that's what's needed from each one of us sitting here, because you're all coming from very, very privileged backgrounds. Skill of generosity to share. The word is Dr. Kiran. Share. Second, to learn to listen and decide. Listening to each other. Not say I'm alone right. It's learning to listen and then decide. Third, to be a team player. If you've not played games when you're growing up, you are not a team player. Probably it's difficult to learn, but you have to learn sooner the better. Then to recognize and be humble. Recognize, because not to walk away with everything, but if somebody's done a great job, stand up to say, thank you, you did it. Your idea is the one I followed. It's because of you that I did it. These are, friends, very, very humanizing. It's to recognize and be humble. And people, if you've done something, you've got an award, like you've got in many of your awards, staying humble and grateful. To be authentic, I think the biggest challenge. How authentic you are and how predictive you are. How authentic and how predictive. Because your self-will will show the iceberg of you, how unpredictive or how unauthentic you are. To be visible, on or offline. On or offline now, because it's to be visible in a matter-of-fact way with your team, to be either it's hybrid or in person. Today, the challenge of any leadership is being visible, being on the job, on your feet, on your legs, and to be accessible to your rank and file. To be fair, to be giving, I mentioned, to be progressive, empathetic, and being real. Empathy was a key word. I think COVID taught us how we had to be empathetic to the staff and the families who were suffering from COVID, could not attend, and they had to work from home, and how were we empathetic to take care of their families. Empathy was exceedingly critical lesson learned from COVID times. Then focus on a higher purpose. Celebrate. Encourage growth. Promote inclusivity. This is what DIA is all about. It's all about inclusivity, where you include all ages, you include genders, you include even disability, where they are differently able. Share influence. Expertise-based leadership. Collaboration, mutual learning. Flat structures, not hierarchical structures. Flat structures, where everybody's together around the table. Empowerment and ownership. Adaptability, flexibility, and to take risks, being agile, being visionary, strategist, and IT driven, and human resource driven. Friends, humanity will always be in need of deep rooted character of qualities which makes leadership better human beings as strong leading professionals. This style of leadership is transformational and humanistic. This is the trend in all leadership articles today, is how humane you are, how humanistic you are. It's not transactional, it's not transformational, it's not authoritative, it's not autocratic. So many, but it is today which encompasses something of all. This style of leadership is transformational and humanistic. It is capable of taking volatility, taking care of uncertainty in financials and blockchains, all these chains being broken, political ups and downs, or environmental climate changes. Key ones, friends, will always remain despite the advent of artificial intelligence, such as inspiring others, redefining culture, meeting the needs of your employees, enabling change, developing skills, recruiting talent, creating an excellent team, unlocking elite execution. Elite, that means you are planning, but you're also in execution, not just dreaming and saying. And most of all, avoiding burnouts. Friends, if I go to my conclusion, true leaders always practiced the 3 R's. Respect for self, respect for others, and responsibility for all actions. The 3 R's. I repeat, respect for self, respect for others, and responsibility for all actions. Jack Welch gave us a very wonderful T concept, and I've been using this Jack Welch T concept ever since. In fact, when I took the oath ceremony as Lieutenant Governor of Puducherry, I introduced the T concept to the people of Puducherry in my opening speech. And the T concept stands for T-E-A. T stands for trust, E stands for empowerment, and A for accountability. The moment you have the T concept, everything starts falling in place in its own way. So wherever you are at work, governance, administration, business, if you follow the T concept of trust, empowerment, and accountability, you are an asset to humanity. For this, both For this, both the P's account. Remember my first P? The person. And the professional, the second P, needed to be in alignment. That's the reason I go to schools more and more for children, to boys and girls, to know the first P so vital, because the next P will follow. And if the first P is fundamentally correct, the second P will be correct, because the first P has to be one of integrity. For this, both the P's, person and the professional, need to be in alignment. And this demands a lifetime of good karma. It cannot be without a lifetime of good karma. Current demand times demand the practice of collaborative, distributed, humanistic leadership. It's called, I will give it an acronym, CDHL. It needs collaborative, distributed, humanistic leadership. CDHL more than ever before. And this is what needs to be understood deeply in all our partnerships and collaborations you will forge. As one Swamiji said in India, when we increase in numbers, oh, I'm a $1 billion, I'm a 3 million, and I'm nearly in a billion. He said, when it's numbers, it's growth. He said, it's growth, you've grown. It's not success. He says, you've grown. But when we serve humanity alongside, we succeed and we prosper. You may grow. Oh, I've grown. But remember, is it growth or is success? That success doesn't come without ethics and nor does long-term sustainable prosperity. I want to thank Sanjay and his WBR Corps for inviting me to be present here, and we missed you. And all of you present here for listening. Just this morning, I got a wonderful last concluding message, something like you said, the prayer. I offer you peace. I offer you love. Some of you gave love to me in the morning when I came in. I offer you peace. I offer you love. I offer you friendship. I see your beauty, all of them. I hear your need internally. I feel your feelings. I felt them. My wisdom flows from the highest source. I salute that source in you. Who said it? Mahatma Gandhi. Wow. Thank you very much.